Hello, everyone, and
Hello.
welcome to this. How are you, Manny?
I'm good, and you?
I am great. I just wanted to welcome both you and everyone at home to this Red Bull Motorsport channel and to this live interview.
Yeah, nice. I'm excited. Excited to be here, if I'm to be honest. Like the trailer looked already pretty good, so definitely
Yeah, have you played the
gonna be
game?
a good time right now. I've played it already. I'm not as far yet, so I still can't do a scrub, but I'm working on it and try to get better. Try to get on the top
Well,
in my game.
s- since you've played the game, can you describe what people should expect about Dirt Bike Unchained?
It's just so cool, like it's more about like go out there and you literally feel that you're gonna race. Like you can do so many cool things and like the whole thing how it build it up like with like we are involved, as athletes. Then you can do tricks, you can do like races against other guys, you can have like the full career going on that you get better. So you literally have like the whole thing,
Well,
which is
you mentioned
insane.
there's other Red Bull athletes in the game. How does it feel for yourself to be in the game?
It's actually weird, if I'm to be honest. Like if you open up like yeah, if you open up like the list and you see myself and my face in like a video game and like a mobile game,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool, if I'm to be honest. Like I've never expected that for like 5 years ago, like now I'm in a video game. So that's definitely a really cool feeling. And I think us as like characters and to help
Mm-hmm.
the other guys to get better in the game, it's such a cool thing. Then like we can't get picked as a rider, but we can help the riders to get better in the game, which is nice.
And let's talk about some of the features. What kind of bikes can we choose in the game?
Oh my god, we got nearly all KTM's in there. We got some really strange rainbow nice colors, like for everybody who wants to have it like super special. But yeah, that's definitely cool that KTM has like the different bikes and also the different ACCs, like we got a 85 or 125 or 250, so every bike is a little bit bigger, and you can see like also the difference in the game that the 250 is working better than 85. But at the end we also got some fantasy bikes, like super weird wood, like self-made wood bikes. And yeah, it's we got nearly everything involved, which is super cool.
It's cool that you can actually get to upgrade your bike as you go playing and as you keep winning. And you can also see some of the official sponsors, which is also quite cool. So can you see all of your sponsors on your bike?
Some of them I would say. So that's
Yeah?
that's pretty cool. Like you can choose like a full nice kit, like a real kit from, for example, from Thor or whatever. And that's such a cool thing that you literally have like original parts or like original brand stuff what you can wear
Hmm.
in the game. So you feel even more in like real life, I would say. It's like not a game. Yeah, I put now the game gear on, but now you can put like a proper sick motocross gear on, which is I think rad, huh?
It is pretty cool. The graphics were also
Yeah.
pretty cool, and the in order to play the game and to basically get more points, you need to go through certain tricks. So, like, there's
Yeah.
the power sliding that is not as easy as it looks because I've tried and I
If
sort of
I'm to be
struggle
honest,
with that.
Vanessa, it's so hard. I'm also struggling. Like I never can get like
Okay.
the 3 stars power slide. So it's so hard like to do them. I have no idea how they actually the other guys are doing it. So we
Yeah.
still have to figure it out. Probably we should
And then
play together one time and try to get better in the power sliding part. Huh?
yeah, let's race each other. Actually, you can create teams, right? Also in the game.
Yes. Actually, you can create teams. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I
We should
haven't,
race
I guess.
together as a team.
Yeah, and make
Okay,
and
let's do
fight
that.
against the other guys. No problem, huh?
Well, that sounds good. And guys, for you, if you're watching, there's a QR code at the bottom of the screen. And if you check it with your phone, it'll redirect you to a link. Yep, there you go. Manny is pointing it out. And it redirected to you to a link. If you're an iPhone user, it'll take you to iTunes. And if you're an Android user, it'll take you to Google Play. So download the game and let's get playing.
Yeah,
And
definitely. Like I was
Manny,
impressed.
so at the end of this interview, you and I are racing, okay?
Yeah, totally. And then the better wins. So probably I'm gonna lose. Not just kidding.
No way. No way, no
Yeah,
way.
of course.
So, how have you been since the last time you raced? How's it being at home?
Um, actually pretty good and actually pretty busy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've done my last race in February, King of Motos in the US, which was super nice because I stayed there for like 2 more weeks, just racing and training and doing some cool things. You know, like my best mate was over there as well, and then I came back home and I felt I came back home and went straight to Sweden for a skido trip and did some cool things. But now, yeah, since like 4 weeks, we're kind of at home, and I'm trying to stay in this trainings mode. But yeah, I'm excited to go back racing. Of course, you
I
know
have to
it.
ask, how are you keeping up with your training while you're being indoors? I mean, I have seen some of your videos on Instagram, I have to say.
Yeah, I've done some crazy things if I'm to be honest. Yeah, sometimes you get bored and then yeah, something stupid is coming out, but yeah, probably you know it. Probably you know it, if I'm to be honest.
Manny is a very creative man. You have, you have very creative ways of keeping the indoor training fresh and keeping going.
Yeah,
So kudos for that because it's pretty impressive.
yeah.
So
Thanks a lot.
Manny,
Yeah, for us. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, I have to admit I'm more of a road racer world. So I wanted to get to
Yeah.
ask you a few questions to get to know you a little better, you and your world,
Okay.
because obviously you are the reigning WES series champion, which is amazing. But
Thank
I
you.
wanted to get to know you a little bit better. So how did you get started in motorsports?
Yeah, actually over my dad, you know, like he was such a good rider back in the days, and he was one of the best guys out there as well. So he brought me into trials, and then after 10 years of trials riding, my dad brought me into Erzberg, and then I'm racing Erzberg. Now I'm there where I am, you know, like it's actually a pretty short story, but I've done a couple of cool things already in my life, especially, you know, like I'm 22 or like turning 22 tomorrow. So um I've done already some cool things and some nice racing actually all around the world, which is super nice.
Well, I'll make sure to wish you a happy birthday tomorrow.
Yeah,
But
probably forget it. Nah.
that's not true. That's not true. Just watch
Nah.
my Instagram tomorrow, everyone. He'll be on it.
Oh my god.
Uh, no pressure now.
No pressure now,
So
yeah.
which was the first? What is your first memory on two wheels?
Like I remember my first memory was definitely like I made up like I was riding trials. I got my first trials bike when I was 5, and at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning I wasn't motivated. Like I was even more excited just to look on the bike, and like everything was shiny and you know like something super nice, you know, as a little kid you're like, oh my god, what is this, what is this? And then one day me and my dad we went riding, and I went up, maybe the step was like, it's literally real life, like 20 centimeters high or something like this. I went up this rock and I felt like so cool, and like I've just done the best thing ever. So that's my first memory with yeah, motorbike. Totally.
And why motocross or why a dirt bike and not a road bike?
Ah,
Hmm.
um, because I think, which is like I grew up with like a dirt bike, you know, like it's not like you're like involved since like how long are you involved now with MotoGP and like riding road or like road bike racing?
So I've been involved with with road racing since 12 years now. In MotoGP, it's
Yeah,
been 10.
yeah,
But I
but
started off following my brother in motocross.
ah, okay, got you. Yeah, but
Yeah.
how did he came into the road racing? Like it just came, or
So he watched the X Fighters and he was
yeah,
fascinated. So like a week after that, we bought him a motocross bike and we went out to a motocross track, and that's how we got
yeah,
started. And then he went to do the Movistar Activa tryouts in Madrid and the Jarama racetrack, and
yeah.
after that he just stayed in road racing.
Ah, nice.
Yep.
Yeah, so you came
Mhm.
into road racing over your brother actually, and I came
Yeah.
into like dirt bike racing over my dad, kind of like I never grew up with like a road bike, you know, like always some dirt wheels on the bikes all the time. So I've never like I had a little moped when I was like 16, like doing some cool wheelies around my streets and everything, but that's pretty much it. And if I'm to be honest, I was scared
Yeah.
when I did my driver's license. Like when I rode on the street, like normal on the street, when I done it the first time with like a big bike, I was like, please let me go back into the dirt. Totally.
That's
So
actually
I'm,
quite
I'm
funny.
happy. I'm happy where I'm at. You know.
So, do you think that if your dad hadn't ridden bikes, that you would
Yeah.
still be a rider?
Probably not. Maybe I would do completely something else. You know, like I think it always depends what the other guy is doing in like in your family or in your like friends or whatever, you know, like I think it's
Your
really hard.
immediate circle.
Yeah, in like this in this immediate circle, because I think if you have no idea about riding a dirt bike, or like the whole family has no idea riding a dirt bike, you're like also maybe have never the chance to see a dirt bike race or to see like like a real motorbike, you know. So I think I think I had no idea what I would be doing now. Probably my mom, she had like 13 horses, so maybe I would be like a professional horse rider or something like this.
It's funny that you say that because I have this.
What is
Because I
this?
used to professionally ride by horses.
No way,
That
really?
yes,
Oh my
yeah. I
god.
used to do show jump. Just got a
Yeah?
call. So I used to do
When
show
you were
jump.
when you were a kid, or
Um, when I was younger, yes, when I was younger.
when you were young? Okay.
But
Nice.
I was competing in show jump at a
Yeah,
national level, so it was pretty high. It was really cool. Yeah.
that sounds pretty good.
So
Something completely
I would
different,
like
huh?
your mom.
Yeah,
It's
you would
it's
love
it
it.
is completely different. I was actually gonna
Yeah.
ask you now, what would you have done had you not been a writer? But you just answered the question saying you don't know. So, um,
So
you
riding
mentioned
horses.
okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Liking the sound
Fair
of that.
enough.
You mentioned the 2014 race in Eresberg. I probably mispronounced
Yeah,
that in
yeah.
German.
Ah, pretty good.
And you were pretty young, right? How young were you?
I was 16 at this point, and it was super funny story because I came to Erzberg for sure over my dad. You know, he started racing Erzberg, I think 2006, and then I decided, yeah, I would also like to race it one day. And then
Yeah.
2014, a friend of mine, like he gave me a bike because my dad was a Husqvarna factory rider and they had no Kickstarter and I couldn't kickstart the bike. So I had to get a rental of a friend to race Erzberg Rodeo to like start the bike in like pretty difficult situations. And yeah, it was my first year at Erzberg and I finished it straight away. Finished 18th at this point. Still have the youngest finisher ever trophy
You're the
kind
record
of.
holder.
I'm the record holder, yeah, which is super nice. You know, like I think not so many people can say, yeah, you're the youngest finisher in this race. So pretty proud at this point.
Was that event as you imagined before going?
No, it's so huge.
Really?
Like, yeah, you have to come one day because you would literally love it. Like this place, it's so insane, and you drive into this valley and you see this big iron giant mountain, and you're just yeah, it's mind-blowing. It's really mind-blowing.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll take you up on that, and I definitely want to go to watch the race.
Yeah, you have to come
Um,
you have to come and make a helicopter ride over the mountain. It's best thing ever.
ooh,
Yeah.
helicopter ride, yes, count me in.
Yes. Nice.
I've ridden a helicopter or two for Inside Pass.
Yeah?
Go watch
By
Inside
your
Pass if
own?
you haven't watched.
Yeah.
I went to Hangar 7
Yeah.
ahead of the Austrian Grand Prix last year and did some aerobatics in one of the helicopters. And it was pretty
Nice.
cool. We flew over Salzburg,
Yeah.
obviously not on the city. Over the city, we went into the mountains and into this valley and this over this lake. And Mirko, who is a wonderful flying bull, he did some aerobatics and it was amazing. It was really cool.
Nice, nice. I've done nearly the same thing, but with an airplane, with a super small stunt airplane.
Oh,
Red Bull, yeah, Red Bull gave it to me when I was like when I won the World Championship junior title in Super Enduro, I think 2016 or something like this. And my athlete manager um, took me home from the Red Bull training center, and then he was like, "Yeah, we just have to stop at the Hangar 7 just to get like some papers or whatever." And then we came in, and he was like, "Surprise!" And
whoa.
yeah, yeah, you're going out for airplane ride, and it was like, "Nah, really?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And it was so cool because I don't remember his name, but it was so cool because he let me fly by my own, like for like a minute or something
What?
like this. Yeah. So it
Oh my
was
God.
such a rare, cool feeling. And then we done so many crazy things like rolls and flips and like them strange, completely down and up again. And yeah, it was I think one of my best experience so far. Like this one and one day in a rally car.
That's pretty cool. My question is, did you eat before getting on that plane?
Luckily not. I felt I
Cool.
felt so sick. Like I'm not sure how you felt. Like I felt so sick afterward.
For half a day, I felt super sick, but it was so
Yeah,
worth it. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, totally. And my
But I
my
did.
my like who flew the plane, he was like, "Yeah, we're like at 60 or 70% now, like what he's normally doing from the speed." So we done
Hmm.
everything slow, and then we done everything a little bit faster, and then we were like, yeah, 60%. And he was like, "Yeah, should we go now full speed?" And was like, "Nah, stop
Maybe
it.
not.
Maybe not.
You're
I'm
like,
good. Please let
next
me go
time.
back home." Yeah, next time. Yeah. Nah, I was really sick afterwards. But like you said, it was worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I have to ask, who were your idols growing up?
Um yeah, my dad, he was just such a big impact for myself, like one of the best riders out there. And for sure, if you look into the sport and you're like your dad is literally racing, of course you're like your idol is your dad. So he was definitely one of my idols.
And when you would see your dad interact with fans, how did you feel about that? Because for you it was your dad, but for other people, he's like an idol.
Yeah. um Good question, if I'm to be honest. um like I've never went to quite a lot of races, only for a couple of them. So I've been couple of times for Erzberg, and like everybody's like I think they're the most people there. So you're like a little kid and you see your dad and he's such a star in the sport. You're like, oh my god, like it's such a cool feeling. And at the beginning strange, but at the end it's also like so cool, and you're like so proud of your dad. So he's a good guy.
And how does it feel for you now to become an idol for others?
Yeah, funny thing, because at the beginning I was always always the son of my dad, you know, and I never like my dad's nickname is Letty, for example, and I never tried to get his same nickname. So if people came up to me and they were like, my dad was not racing anymore, and they were like, "Hey, Letty, what's up?" And I'm like, "Sorry, guys, I'm not Letty. I'm Manny." Like I'm always try to make my own name, and now it's just unbelievable, you know, like one of the best riders in the world at the moment, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and you know, like so many people are coming up, and I always get like really cool messages from couple of fans, which is super nice. And yeah, people are, yeah, I'm kind of a little bit of an idol, like you said. It's a cool feeling.
And do you have any funny stories about meeting fans?
Poor.
Come on, there
Um,
must be at least one.
yeah, I got this. Yeah, I got this one good story. Like,
Okay.
one time there was one guy. He actually got my phone number from, I have no idea from where, but he got it. And then he rang on my phone and was like, "Yeah, who is this guy?" And I went on the phone and was like, "Yeah, Lettenbichler," like full serious, you know, like if you don't know then like the number. And he was like, "Oh my god, is it Manny right there?" I'm like, "Who are you?" "Oh my god, I'm such a big fan," you know, like it was so so surprised for myself, because normally like not a random guy has like my phone number. And then he just rang and was like, "Oh my god, is it Manny?" He freaked out and he was like, "Yeah, please, let's go riding one day." And like I stayed in contact with him, and like I sent him like a couple of posters and everything. But it was so funny at the first moment, you know, like if you have no idea at the beginning who is on the phone, and then he's just
Yeah.
freaking out right at the beginning. So that's a pretty good story, I would say.
We have a question that just came in from a
Yeah.
follower from Nkashi Matate. Will you come back and fight for the win at the Roof of Africa?
I've done it already one time. It's in Lesotho, which is super nice, cool race. But yeah, at the moment, nothing is planned yet, you know, like, and it's not in the series anymore. So I haven't planned it to go there because it's quite busy also in this time when Roof of Africa is. So when I will be retired, I will gonna do like a retirement year of racing, like I already told you, Vanessa.
That's
So
your retirement plan.
that's my retirement plan. I'm gonna do all races what I want to do again. So I will definitely come back to South Africa, and I've never came to Cape Town, so I want to check it out and make like a full trip out of it. You already went to South Africa one day, or?
I have been to South Africa when I was in World Superbikes. We went there
Yeah,
with my brother was in World Supersport class, and we went to Kialami to race in Kialami racetrack,
yeah,
and it was pretty cool. It was really nice. It
nice.
was my only time in South Africa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's such a cool country. Like I wanna go there again because I think it's such a cool place and so different again, and so much culture, and you can do so many cool things. So definitely on the bucket list.
Absolutely. If you do go, go to Pretoria and you should do a safari and they'll just
Yeah,
take you around and you can see all the animals. And under the seat, I could see this really heavy blanket and it was super hot. It was like maybe 28, 30 degrees Celsius. And I was like, why
yeah.
do they have these heavy blankets? The second the sun goes down in South Africa, it's freezing. So
Yeah, yeah,
everyone pulls the blankets from under the seat and you wrap yourself, with the blanket because it gets pretty cold. So you've been warned. Now you know.
yeah. You saw some good animals, some lions and
I
some
I
crazy.
saw a lion way closer than I hoped. We
Okay.
saw lions, we saw zebras, we saw like giraffes. We saw every animal except for an elephant. So I was quite bummed.
Ah.
We just got another question from Shane Seoing. Sorry if I've butchered your name. What was your first dirt bike?
I got I got my first trials bike when I was 5, and it was like a super small automatic trial. Like I had to kickstart it, and at the beginning I couldn't kickstart it, so I always ask my dad if he can kickstart it for me, and then I start
Yeah.
riding. A bit of a problem if you crashed and nobody was there. You had to push your bike back to your house. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was like a super small automatic trials. But it was a good bike. Like there are some good memories, you know, for the first bike.
Manny, what's the best part about being a rider?
Phew.
Hmm.
To wake up
Hmm.
whenever you want.
That's what weekends are for, Manny.
Yeah, but weekend is normally racing, so
True,
um,
true. But
nah, I would say like to be a rider, you know, like I'm doing what I'm love to do, you know, like I made my hobby to my job, and I'm waking up every day and trying to make the best out of it, and trying to make some cool things and go out there and just enjoying life, you know. So I'm pretty blessed to be a rider and to do
what you love.
and go, yeah, do what you love and going riding, definitely.
And on the other hand, what is your least favorite thing about being a rider?
For my least favorite thing, whew.
I know what a
um
MotoGP rider would say.
yeah. I would
The
say
media
sometimes
commitments.
the media commitments. Nah, I think the media stuff is pretty good. Like I'm enjoying what we are just doing right now, huh? It's funny
Cool.
and simple. Yeah. I hope you enjoy it as well.
Yeah,
Would
it's
be
pretty
strange
cool.
if not. Okay. Nah,
So,
I would say like the pressure sometimes. It's hard to handle.
okay, we got another question from Mikalaski Oscar. Have you got some tips for beginners?
Don't send it all the time. Try to be smart and and yeah, like try to ride clever, you know? Like I got a couple of friends, they're like poor hobby riders, and they just love what they're doing, and they always just let the bike go and flip it up a uphill, and they just don't take care about anything. But sometimes I think it's better just to slow down a little bit, take your time, and take it a little bit more easier than just let your bikes fly, I would say. So that's like the most and best tip what I can give for beginners.
Sounds good. That sounds really
Yeah.
good. And
What is your tip for beginners? What would
hmm,
you say to
I
people
have
who?
I have a story. I have a story with
Yeah.
my first ever dirt bike experience, which was pretty late in life. It was in 2013. I went to I don't know if you know Colin Edwards. We call him the Texas Tornado. He has a boot camp in Texas, and he
Yeah.
has like a flat track, oval. He has like a TT track and an indoor track. So he has
Okay.
this thing called the Super Pole, and the Super Pole is you have to do a lap that connects all three tracks, and he's
Ah, yeah.
timing it. So it was literally my first day on the bike, and it was after a GP race. So you had MotoGP riders, Moto2, MotoGP photographers, journalists, everyone was there. And I get on the bike, and Colin is like, "Okay, now you do a lap." What do I do after the first straight? I hit the front brake and crash.
Oh shit! Big crash
So
or?
guys, my advice to you after a straight, don't hold the front brake. You heard it from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do not have a
Vanessa
career in dirt bike.
Vanessa pro trip giveaway for dirt bike riders.
I mean, I do fully commit, okay? I'll give, you
Okay.
have to give me that. I fully commit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nah, that's true, and that's actually the first big part what you have to do. Actually, like full commitment. If you don't like
Yeah.
full commitment, you just fall over, I guess, or just make make some strange little aids or funny circles or something like this. So commitment is there. So pretty proud of you. I
Thank
would
you.
love to
Thank you,
I would
Manny.
love to see a video from this crash.
There
It's
is a
definitely
video.
there is a video. Ah, okay, you have to
There is a
send it
video
one
because
day.
Colin Colin was riding behind me with the GoPro on his helmet, and he was filming me.
Okay.
And yeah, but I don't know if I can find the footage. Maybe someday. Maybe someday.
Maybe.
If you win the next world champion title, I'll show you.
Okay, okay, yeah,
Um,
that's a good deal. That's definitely a good deal. I try my best this year to get the video right away. Okay.
sounds good. um, I know you're a successful athlete now, but we do know that sport demands a lot of discipline. Do you feel you have had to make a lot of sacrifices to get where you're now?
Yeah, totally. Like not a lot of sacrifices, but like I'm still 22. Like if I'm looking to my other friends who are like in this age, there are some other things who are more interested. So you had to
Like
yeah,
girls?
like girls, like parties, like
Going
just
out? Yeah.
just doing what they love to do. Like they don't have to take care about anything. And
Yeah.
sometimes for sure you're like, it would be so fun now to go out with my friends and just having an awesome night. But at the end, like you want to wake up and you want to be the best. And I think
Hmm.
I still got enough time, and I found like a good balance to get everything like in the mix. Like I'm always try to go out with my mates and try to have like some good times, but only at the time when I know, yeah, nothing is going on. So um, if it's racing time or like racing season, I'm like a little bit more professional, and if it's a little bit of off season, you're like just enjoying and doing some other stuffs.
Okay. And as an athlete, do you feel it is harder to fulfill other people's expectations or to fulfill your own expectations?
I think my own expectations, definitely. Like you want to be the best, and sometimes like my mentality is for sure like I'm giving my best and always trying my best and never giving up. But at the end, you're like at the race and you had like a good battle until the finish, like, and you lose like really close, and you're like, oh man, why? Like your expectation was like, we go out there now and we try my best and we're gonna win this race, and at the end you're like losing it a little bit. But yeah, I think everybody has to deal with something like this, I guess. I hope
Yeah.
so.
I think you're right. I think everyone has to
Yeah,
deal with that.
yeah.
We have a new question coming in from Tiago Grillon. What's your favorite enduro race?
Mm, I'm a big fan of Romaniacs. Like I won it last year. It's actually like a hard enduro rally. So it's like 5 days event, 4 days, like 1 day prologue, and then 4 off-road days where you're riding nearly 6 to 8 hours every day. So you're like super tired, and it's just such a physical and brutal race. But the best thing about this race, or the best feeling what you have, is like the last 10Ks into the finish, because you're like everything goes through your mind. You've done this crazy race, and this race, if you only finish it, is already an achievement. So I'm like, this feeling what you have when you come into the finish and you have just done it, and if you've done it good, like it's just such a good payoff because you put so much work into it. So this is definitely one of my favorite races so far.
I know you've recently rewatched the race and you've
Yeah,
done a bit of commentary over the video. How did that
first
feel
comment.
rewatching the race?
It was like, I'm always watching the highlight videos of the races because they're doing a great job, I think, Red Bull TV. Always some funny stories also in the, like some backstories. So it was strange to watch it and actually commentate it. Like I've never done a comment like a proper commentary thing. So
Yeah.
also first thing for myself, and then you go through the race or go through the video and you're like, I could do this better. This was a hard thing, like you remember so many things, and sometimes you see something on the POV what you actually don't see in the race, like you're so focused and like only see the line, and at the end there are like 100 people around you and you have no idea that they're here. So
Did you
that's
enjoy
cool.
doing the Did you enjoy doing the commentary?
I enjoyed it, yeah. Like it was new,
Could it
but
be
at
part
the
of
end,
the retirement plan?
maybe I'm a commentator in a couple of years. We never know. But I think I enjoyed it, and the cool thing is that the commentators are still involved. You know, like you're also involved into MotoGP completely. You know, you're going into the races, doing some cool
Yeah.
backstories. You know everybody. I think that's the cool thing, huh?
Yeah. I have to ask because in MotoGP we have a few riders that are superstitious. Are you
Yeah.
superstitious?
No, I'm
Yep.
super easy.
No?
Yeah,
Really?
super easy.
Do you have
Yeah.
any pre-race rituals?
I'm super calm before the race. Like sometimes I'm getting a little bit crazy before the race. Like if it's like super nervous, you know, like you're just try to talk some random shit and try to get your head out of like the nervosity. So I'm talking quite a lot of crazy things and try to joke with the other riders and just doing some funny things, but no proper race rituals that I'm listening to music or whatever.
Okay, I need to get close to the camera because this new
Yeah,
question that just came in is from Eddie Nice or Dice. Do you
nice.
think you could finish Romaniacs 2019 within the same time as if you were at fourth?
The
And if
fourth
yes,
stroke.
which one would you choose?
You know what 4T is?
No, I don't know what 4T
Yeah,
is. No.
four stroke or two stroke. It's like two different types of bikes.
Oh,
Um,
okay, 4T, four stroke. Yeah, I know what a four
yeah,
stroke
four
is,
stroke.
but I
Yeah, you didn't
so
know the short thing.
abbreviation. No.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't, I guess. Like in our sport, the two stroke is just such a famous bike and everybody rides it and it's just so light and super easy to handle. So I think with a four stroke would be a little bit harder and you have had a harder time. So but it's a good question if I'm to be honest. Like my dad won Romaniacs on a four stroke a couple of years ago and he showed that it's also working, but it's I think not easy.
And I've asked this question before to riders, but I think it's really hard for you guys to answer to it, but I'm going to ask you it anyway. Can you
Okay.
describe how it feels to win?
Best thing ever, I would say. Like, you know, like my first big win last year where everybody was racing, you know, was Romaniacs. And especially at this race to win it because I think it's even a step higher than the rest because you just race so long and there's just so much pre-work what is going into. So just the pressure comes off and you know it's I think it's one of the best feelings, you know, like and you always want to have more, you know. Yeah, you want to get another win and to have this feeling again and like not addicted but you would like to have it back.
So if you could relive one, if you could choose the best moment of last year, would it then be also Romaniacs from last year? Of your
No
entire
gets in
career?
rodeo of my
Gets,
entire
oh, when
career.
you
It
won
was
the title.
when I won the title, yeah. When I won the title, and especially because all my friends were there and my family was there, and you know, it was in Germany as a German rider for sure. A couple of spectators are there, and it's such a cool race. Like the promoters, they're doing this race only for the riders, you know, like they want to have it like super easy and they want to have like a good show for the spectators. So it's such a good organized race and you come there and you feel like yeah you're like not racing but at the end you're like proper racing. And then we won the title and I was exhausted at this point. Like I was cramping up everywhere. Like I lifted my shoulder to hug my best mate and I got a cramp right up there and I couldn't put
Yeah.
it down again. So I had to stay like this in the finish. And I was like, oh my God, oh, I'm so happy, oh, crying and everything together. And, you know, they're just coming all feelings together. So, yeah, this was definitely one of my best feelings in my entire career.
Because you won it for the second year in a row, and it's your home
Yeah,
race, and you got
yeah,
the title on the same day, so it's pretty amazing.
yeah. Everything came together and it's like one time, you know, like my family was there, friends were there, won it 2 times, already also had the pressure, like everybody was saying, ah, yeah, you're gonna win it easily, no problem, but at the end you're like, oh my god, okay, now it's racing time, and I done my job, which I'm happy, but at the end I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, we're done. We had a really good after party, a really, really good one, so it was worth
Quick
it.
question before we tackle the new question that came in.
Yeah.
During that race, during the final race, were you thinking about the title all at the time, or did you try to get that thought out of your mind?
Um, I I got that out of my mind completely. Like, I had like a really good lead, so I was more racing for myself at this point, and I was like, hey, we want to have a good weekend. We want to go home with a win, and we want to have a good weekend. So at the end, um, I took it completely out of the way that I'm gonna race over for the championship lead, or for the
Mm-hmm.
championship actually, and I think that's why I raced so good. I think, but it
Cool.
was hard.
Let's tackle a new question. So Infernal
Yeah,
99 says, Manny, how do you cardio and how long?
and how long?
How do you do cardio and
Um,
for how long?
big mountain bike, like big mountain bike fan. Like just like to do a couple of mountain bike riding. So always trying to go up a mountain and then ride a cool downhill, like a cool trail downhill. So yeah, it depends. 2 hours, I would say, is like the average 2 hours of cardio, and then you always have to also work. Depends the race, Like for Romaniacs, you do way more cardio than for Erzberg, because Erzberg is done in like 2.5 hours, and Romaniacs is like 5 days in a row. So we always have to
Oh.
train for every race separately,
It's funny
which is
that
not
you
as easy.
mentioned mountain biking because
Yeah,
I've seen a recent video on your social media in which
yeah,
you
my
use a
home ride.
mountain bike. Yes. How did you come
Yeah.
up with that idea? Explain
Um,
what you do.
yeah. Yeah. Actually, a sponsor of mine, or yeah, Crank Brothers, they have this challenge. It's like CB Ride at Home. So Crank Brothers Ride at Home challenge, where you make like a crazy line through your house or over your house or in your garden or whatever. And then I was like, ah, yeah, okay. Yesterday I had like rest day, and I was like, what are we doing today? And then I was like, yeah, let's do this challenge. Had the GoPro out and started filming, and then my dad came home and he was like, yeah, maybe you can start from the garage roof or something like this. And I was like, ah, yeah, that's a good idea. And at the end, I ended up like riding completely from the house, like the house roof, completely on the top, dropped in onto the
Yeah.
garage roof, then dropped into my garden, done a crazy table turn, then into the house, like done a really cool line. So if you want to check it out, just check my Instagram account, because it's a pretty good video, if I'm to be honest.
It's pretty good. And that's
Yeah.
what you do on your off day. So imagine what you do on an on day.
Yeah, not so much crazy things, if I'm to be honest. Like normal mountain bike ride is like this. I was a little bit stressed out if I was completely on the top of the roof. Like I was on
Yeah.
top and was like, should I do it really? Okay, yeah, let's just do it. Yeah, but this was a cool
um,
video. Thanks that you liked it.
it, it was. I really enjoyed it. Let's go on to a very serious question. What
Oh,
is the
serious right
most
now. Okay.
important thing? What is the most important thing that you have learned through motorsports?
Oh, oh my God.
Mm,
What I've learned through motorsport, I would say that you have to be your own guy. Like you have to make your own decisions. Like in a race, nobody can decide what are you doing. So you're the guy, and you have to make decisions, and you have to make the right decisions as well. For sure, you also learn with some faults, with some wrong decisions, but at the end, you have to be your own man. So I think that's what I learned, like through motorsport, and I think I can put it into normal life as well, you know, like doing my for example, my own washing or whatever, you know, like I want to be my own guy and don't be still living from another person.
Yeah, you want to be independent. That's really cool.
Yeah, sorry, I
So,
missed the word. Yeah, independent.
not to
Thanks.
worry, I got you. So we have a new question from Enduroma Raw. Manny,
No?
do you think that YT Capra is a good bike to start enduro on pedals?
Yeah. YT is my bike sponsor, so I got the Capra 3 years ago, and I only rode like this mountain bike, and it's such a good bike. So Endurama Raw, get the Capra and ride some good trails. You definitely love it. You ever going out for a mountain bike ride, or you got a mountain bike,
No,
Vanessa?
I
No.
don't own a mountain bike. I don't.
Okay.
I
You have
hike.
to get
I
that.
don't
You
mountain
hike?
bike. I hike.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not true. The last time I was on a mountain bike, it was not really a mountain bike, it was a bike. I was doing a lap of Catalunya GP, of the racetrack, with
Yeah.
Bradley Smith for an interview. I did an interview on
Ah,
bikes.
nice.
Yeah.
On a road bike or
No, a bicycle.
on, yeah,
A
but on
road
a
bicycle. Yeah, yeah,
roadside
yeah, yeah,
bicycle. Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. How was it actually around the circuit with a
So
bicycle?
imagine me, who doesn't usually use like cycle, on a
Yeah.
bicycle with a backpack and the sound gear, doing an interview with someone next to you on a bike, and the bicycle had gears, and I had never ridden a bicycle with gears, so it was a
Okay.
challenge.
It was a
It was a bit of
challenge.
a
Okay.
challenge. It was a bit of a challenge.
Made
We have a new question. So Neat asks you, are you planning on racing the Dakar? Oh, the Dakar.
Dakar. Nothing planned yet. Like, you know, I'm 22 now, so if I'm to be honest, like I want to stick a little bit longer around where I'm at right now because I'm feeling quite confident and just enjoying what I'm doing. And I think the racing is good and the people are good. So I would be interested maybe one day, but at the moment, also the Dakar, like the level is so high from the riders. Like I think the risk is pretty high compared to
Yeah.
our races. So yeah, maybe in a couple of years, but at the moment, nothing planned where I'm happy at.
The Dakar, I feel, is such an iconic event.
Yeah,
Even if you go as a journalist, like I would love to do the Dakar once in my life, just for the
yeah,
experience, because it's so iconic. But yeah,
yeah,
you can put it
totally.
in the retirement plan bucket, and
Retirement
I'll
plan
put it in
bucket.
my
Okay,
bucket list. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're filling up that
perfect.
retirement bucket of yours, Manny.
Nice. You're gonna make my retirement plans, and we're gonna make your retirement plans. Okay,
Yeah, sounds good.
sounds good.
What is what is the most important memory so far of your career?
Most important, yeah, I would definitely say last year my championship win. You know, like especially um it's always like I always say it's a team effort, you know, like you're not the guy who wins only a race, it's always the team also involved, you know, and the was involved as well as there, also my dad and my best mate Jeff. So we got a really good team last year, and I think this team and the team spirit as well, you know, like I think that's the best memory so far, you know, like we just went to a race and we were like not as serious as the other guys, we just enjoy what we are doing and doing some cool things, and yeah, I think that's the coolest memory what I have of racing a dirt bike.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Got a new question from Bryce Barnesnick. What's next? Other than defending your title, is there anything else you want to do?
um I want to go to Whistler and doing a mountain bike trip to Canada. I love this country and I would like to go there, but at the moment it's really hard to plan anything. So yeah, at the moment, only defending the title, I would say, is planned. And yeah, then we have to plan a little bit around when we got time. I think everybody's kind of in this zone where you can't plan or look what's actually gonna happening. So yeah, we're just gonna stick at the moment with this one plan, and then if we know more, then we're gonna plan something else. I think the same
Speaking
same as
about
for you. Like it's
yeah.
really hard, I think, to plan something right now, especially also with
Well,
MotoGP and everything and everything.
right now we can't plan because we depend on what happens globally. So
Yeah,
we all have to just wait and see what happens.
yeah,
But speaking of other plans, I think I've seen a photo of you doing a backflip with skis.
yeah, yeah. But that's not like a other like a other plan for me. Like I'm a big like for myself, like the most free sports is like riding dirt bikes, mountain bike riding, and skiing in the winter. So like them three sports are like my main sports, and I'm just enjoying. And
Okay.
in the winter, I'm doing most of the time ski touring. So I'm also have this workout involved, which is super nice. But yeah, couple of backflips are always in, and just enjoying the time with my mates. Definitely like
How ma-
best thing ever.
how many times did it take for you to land a perfect backflip on skis?
Oh, I learned it as a kid. So me and my friends, we were just doing like just building up this own shape kicker, and I think we tried it maybe 3 times, and then we got it. So not so often, if I'm to be honest. Like as a kid, you also like jump quite a lot of trampoline. So we were trying always on a trampoline and just trying to do some flips and some rolls. And I think you have this similar feeling everywhere. I'm still missing the flip with a bike. So I would
Yeah.
like to learn a backflip with a dirt bike. So retirement plan, or maybe this year, we never know. Maybe even this year. It could be like a side plan for this year.
Just make sure you get an airbag suit.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Nah, first thing, airbag suit and an airbag where we're gonna try it first before we're gonna land on dirt.
We got another question from our friend Endurama Raw, and this time
Yeah.
says, "Man, have you visited the KTM museum?"
Yeah. And it's so cool. Like I was impressed when I was there. Like just so many cool old bikes, like they show the whole history from KTM, and also like the technical side, like for the kids or also for us. I was also playing, so um, they got like this cool feature that you can build up your own
Hmm.
suspension and change the settings at your suspension, and just some really cool details and cool things where you actually, it's not like a normal museum, like they always try to give you like, you can do there something, then you come into the Hall of Fame where they show this awesome video from all the athletes and what inspires them. And yeah, it's a cool place to go. So you have to check it out one time. You have been there
I
already,
really
or?
have to. I have been to the KTM factory,
Yeah, but not to the museum.
but not to the museum. I was a full day at the factory for filming, and it was really cool
Yeah.
last year ahead of the Austrian Grand Prix. It was really cool because we got all of the KTM Moto 3, Moto 2, and MotoGP guys at the factory for filming, and it was
Nice.
quite cool because we got to play around a bit, and it was really nice.
Yeah, nice. That's cool. It's a cool building, huh? Like the new motorsport building is really nice.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got to explore a little, so it was pretty cool. Um, what dreams are you hoping to achieve in the future?
Stay there where I'm at right now, enjoying life, try to get some other championships, and try to be always as easy as I'm right now.
Actually, I think you have answered the question that I was going to ask you now, which is what advice would you give your future self?
Yeah. Yeah. Stay
Yeah.
stay like I'm at right now, like I think like a friend of mine, he was actually telling me last time, he couldn't believe, he came to my last race at Getzen, and he couldn't believe how serious I am, and like so many fans and everybody, like he have never been to a race, and then he came to this race and was so impressed with myself, because at home I'm just a normal guy, and I always want to be the normal guy, like I don't want to be treated like a other person, or like a star or whatever, because for me it's just fun, and just enjoying what I'm doing. Yeah. So
Do
stay
you
there
find
where I'm
it
at.
do you find it's hard for people outside of the sport or the industry to understand your way of life? Because like you say, like people outside, you feel like a normal guy, but at the same
Yeah.
time you have a profession that demands a lot of traveling and you're always competing, so you have to work out. So it doesn't leave you much time for, the normal things that people do in life. So do the people around you that have a more traditional life, do they find it hard to understand your way of life?
At the beginning, yeah. At the beginning, it was not as easy. Like especially with my friends, if we went out and they got on the beers, and I was like, yeah, for me nothing. I want to go training tomorrow, So they were like, come on, one, and I was like, nah, man, sorry. But now I think everybody understands it, especially from my friends. But I think for sure there could be some misunderstanding from the outside.
Well, Manny, this has been super lovely to chat with you and to get to know you a little better. So thank you for that. And thank you to all of you guys for tuning in. And don't forget to go and download the game and play Dirt Bike Unchained. And leave your comments below and let us know if you enjoy playing the game. Thank you so much and see you really soon. Bye,
Perfect.
Manny.
Ciao, Vanessa. Bye.
Bye.